Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're watching. Welcome to Slow Motion Broadcasting for round 8 of the XSLR season number 10. I'm Adam Thomsen. Joining me this week, Joshua Wilkie, the big boss. And of course, he's running the cameras tonight. Tonight, we're in the big block modifieds for our fourth and final race in these cars in XSLR around the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're already into qualifying. Tyler Brown already the quickest man up on the board with a 15.3. Andy Kosick just doing some practice laps at this point as he's sitting fourth fastest. Tyler Coates, it looks like, is on the track. Adam Thomsen only going third fastest right now with a 15.516. Let's see here. J Cam was going to try and make an attempted lap. Matt Lance goes sixth fastest, and Tyler Coates goes fifth fastest. There's Adam Thomsen right now as he does not improve on his lap time. He is going to remain in third. Does J Cam have anything? The man who's been trying to get a win in these big block modifieds and just seems like luck has just run him out. There's Chad Gross on track now. One of the two drivers who has not put on a qualifying lap here so far. Gets a good run out of turn 4. Crosses the line. His first lap time is a 10th fastest, a 16.2, 4/10 off of P number 9. Looking to try and improve. Just getting around these corners in the big block modified is already difficult enough. He crosses the line, does not improve his time. Actually, he does improve his time, but not the position of 15.860. Let's go to J Cam real quick. As J Cam going to put up his first time lap here. And he'll cross the line here, and this is his first official time lap. It's down the back straight away. And picks up on the throttle. He'll go across the line. Now where does he end up? Does he get in front of Adam Thomsen? He does. Second quick of 15.5352. Needs a couple of just thousandths of a second to get that pole position. Jason Grider out on track. Go back to Jake Ham as he's on his second lap here. Trying to go for the pole. Struggling a little bit. Yeah, he's rolled out of it, but he will definitely be glad to take a P2 after he's had some struggles in the big block modified. Jason Grider, 9th fastest with a 15.677, and that should round out our grid here. While Jason Grider completes his second lap, I don't see him going to the pole here. Let's talk about the racetrack a little bit, if you want to bring up that graphic, Josh. There it is. So this is a 4/10 of a mile racetrack. Very unique, very different, very high banked in the corners, but you can just see turns 1 and 2 are a little bit lighter than they are in 3 and 4. So that's going to bring a little inconsistency. It's kind of like a Bristol a little bit. And this is the host of the World of Outlaw World Finals. They just also hosted the World Short Track Championships this past weekend and had a great card count over the weekend. But this only gets raced on a couple of times a year. So it's a little bumpy. It doesn't get worked in all that much. And even in iRacing, it's pretty bumpy. It's not a smooth ride at all. And of course, the World Finals for the World of Outlaws World Finals features the big block modifieds and what's called the Super Dirt Car Series. That's actually coming up this weekend. So this upcoming weekend should be a good time. So we got 2 heat races on deck here. Top 2 move to the A feature directly from each heat. The rest go to a B feature to determine the rest of the starting lineup. But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers here at Slow Motion Broadcasting, and support like that, we would be much appreciated. Let's go ahead and take a look at heat race number 1 lineup here. And your front row, Tyler Brown and Kevin Irwin. on the front row. Kevin Irwin's been a consistent force in the big block modified so far. Andy Kosick, Derek Volk in row 2, Jason Grider, Chad Gross in row 3. The 2 pace laps, and we'll bring in Josh Wilkie here. Josh, you've been off for a few weeks. Good to see you back in the broadcast booth and not racing a race car, but what are you hoping to see here, or kind of hope to witness here tonight?
Yeah, well, this is, I'd much rather be out there taking my chances around this track here with the drivers, but I'm up in the booth, second best place in the house, or best seat in the house, I would say. So yeah, I'm just looking forward. A bit of discovery here for me as well. I don't have a lot of experience in these cars. Was kind of hoping to get some, perhaps, this weekend, but looks like I missed out on that one. Have to check it out here and see if I can't learn some things from our drivers here tonight. But looks like a pretty fun track. Looks like it's going to be a good time. We have a few good competitors out there as well. So yeah, we should have a couple heats to get through here. Some points here at some point we can get to as well that we will just quickly touch on at some point. But it looks like last time I was here, if I remember correctly, J Cam was doing pretty well, and it looks like he's doing pretty well again, Adam. So I don't know. Looks like a whole lot hasn't changed here at the moment. We'll see kind of how this one plays out, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a good night of racing on the dirt. And of course, if you're wondering where Ron Maunz is, well, since he's not here to back up this story, Ron Maunz got into trouble. That's why Josh had to step in. Surprisingly, Josh hasn't fired Ron. So we wish him well. We hope he's doing better. If anybody knows a good lawyer, he's going to need one. So we don't know exactly what happened to him, but all we know, he's in trouble. So there we go. Again, he's not here to defend the story or tell me I'm lying.
Not confirm nor deny those allegations, but we'll go with it. And it looks like we're about to get a race start here, so the truck's going to pull off. Let us go to green to see who's going to jump. We're going to wait for the green if we're just going to go for it here. J Cam leading the field. Let's see if we can get done here.
Here we go. Tyler Brown on the pole position. Out of turn 4 goes green, and away he goes. Good start there by the 821 machine. Side by side further back, though, with Kevin Irwin and Andy Kosick for the second spot. Kevin Irwin out in the second spot. He's been very consistent in the big block modified. Do not get it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That cheese car, whenever he has raced in this big block modified, has been up in front. Right now, he's sitting in a transfer spot. But he's got Andy Kosick, who is just looking to have just a good night. Last week at, where were we last week? I can't remember. And Andy Kosick goes off.
I got 2 seconds. We were at Lanier last week.
Lanier, yeah, we were at Lanier last week, and
we got
just a rough time. So, but Andy Kosick, unfortunately, just as woes continue.
And what a bummer. I'm going to get a quick replay of that for you here. You can see if maybe we can't track down exactly how that transpired. And it looks like maybe he's in reaction here to Kevin Irwin. Yeah, okay, so a bit of reaction to Kevin Irwin. Going to go door to door there. Hopefully avoiding some damage, but that was a pretty big hit.
That was a really big hit. I think he came into the corner hot. Kevin Irwin was slowed up, and they just went kapoop. But Kevin Irwin doesn't lose anything out of it. He continues on. Andy Kosick, unfortunately, was the big loser in that. He has made him got back up into 5th as Jason Grider again in the 6th spot in heat race number 1. Tyler Brown, though, taking off the laps here with a big healthy gap of 2.5 seconds, and currently the fastest lap time in heat race number 1. Kevin Irwin, the cheese car, looking to make it 2 features in a row that he has raced in, just automatically transferring. He's really come to grips with this car more consistently than I was expecting coming into the big block modifieds. And Tyler Brown will take heat race number 1 and win. Kevin Irwin in 2nd. Derek Volk in 3rd. He'll be 1 spot short. He'll go to tonight's B main along with Chad Gross, Andy Kosick, and Jason Grider. But Tyler Brown will start on the pole position. Yeah, nice 360. Now we move on to heat race number 2 here. And heat race number 2, this is where our championship contenders are racing in. And heat race number 2 looks like this. Jake Ham on the pole position for the first time in the big block modifieds this year. Adam Thomsen, though, will start on his outside. Adam Thomsen has won 3 in a row here at XSLR. Tyler Coates, Matt Lass in row 2, and Joshua Sushi will be the final starter here tonight. So that is a look at the lineup here. We'll get everybody going here. And getting top 2 to automatically transfer to the feature. Everybody else to the B main to determine their starting spot in our 30-lap feature later on tonight. And we had some wild incidents, I will say, last week. Unfortunately for Jake Ham, he was running in a podium spot and then got taken out and basically finished on the last car down on the lead lap, and just an unfortunate night for him. But here we go, 2 pace laps around the dirt track at Charlotte. And this is, as you can see in the distance there, you can see the grandstands of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That is realistic. You can, from the stands at Charlotte at the dirt track, you can see Charlotte Motor Speedway from right there. So, which again will host the World of Outlaw World Finals this upcoming weekend, and the World of Outlaw season with the late models, big block modifieds, and the 410 sprint cars. Jake Ham and Adam Thomsen lined up side by side in this heat race. This could get interesting. Green flag will fly, and away we go. Jake Ham, good launch off the start. Gets out in front. Adam Thomsen will just go right behind him through turns 1 and 2. Single file now side by side for the 3rd spot with Tyler Coates and Matt Lass. Matt Lass, 98, and he smokes the tire. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I saw him in the grass.
Oh, we lost a rim there, unfortunately, as well. Some contact there somehow. It did look like he just sort of spun it. We'll have to come back and have a look at that one, but yeah.
He smoked the tire, one of the tires in the infield.
Oh, he hit the tire on the inside. I get it. I thought you said smoke the tire. You meant like he smoked his rear tires. I was like, oh, okay, no, you're right. Those things don't move. Yeah. I ripped his tire right off.
No, and I can tell you, they don't move in real life either.
No, that's a very solid tire.
Very solid. They put some weight in them and make sure that they don't move, because they don't want to move in during the race, because then you have to constantly go back out there and push them back out. A lot of tracks do that. They put tires on the inside of the racetrack, keep drivers from driving on the inside of the racetrack. And Matt Lass got bit there. Let's take. Oh,
well, that's a little bit too early. We'll try that one again.
So watch Matt Lass. He angles that car down low as he gets ready to go down into turns 3 and 4, gets into the grass and smokes the tire.
Yep, just wiped it right off.
So yeah, tire plus car, tire wins. But Jake Ham out in front here by 0.7 of a second over his championship rival of Adam Thomsen. Adam Thomsen, who has won the last 3 races in the big block modified. Which, if we turn the page back to last year, Jake Ham was actually the man to beat on the wing sprint car from last season. And this year, right now, it's been Adam Thomsen, but white flag is displayed. Let's go back out to Jake Ham as he gets ready to take the checkered flag. Jake Ham, it's your race winner here in heat race number 1. And Adam Thomsen in second. Those two will move directly to the feature. Tyler Coates, Joshua Sushi, and unfortunately for Matt Lass, he will move to tonight's B feature. So B feature action time. Let's take a look at our final preliminary race of our broadcast here tonight. Derek Folk, Tyler Coates on the front row. Chad Gross, Joshua Sushi in row 2. That's in row 3. Andy Kostic and Matt Lass. The final starter is going to be Jason Greider. So this will be 10 laps in length. This is just to determine the remaining order of our 30-lap A feature later on this evening. And you can, and I have the voice chat, the iRacing voice chat enabled on my end, and I could hear Adam Thomsen. Just there's a little bit of feels bad, man, for Matt last by smoking that little tire barrier.
Oh no!
On the inside of the racetrack.
This might be a good time actually for us to check up on our points here, possibly real quick here. With maybe you can touch on those quickly, or just the top 5 or 10 here.
We do have a warm up after this. We do have a warm up. So
do we have another warm up? One more time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
you can tell him I'm new producer on this one, and it's been a little while. Don't know the format quite yet, so we'll hold off on that one. And yeah, maybe we can touch on him a little more in depth during the warm up. Then that'll make more sense.
See that you know, if Ron didn't get in trouble, he could have told you these things.
We gotta keep Ron out of trouble, man. Jeez.
I mean, it took him how long to get us that?
It's actually in the chat
clip?
now. Says, hope you guys are having a great show. So seems like he's at least doing okay for now.
How did they gift you a phone in prison, Ron? Jeez.
He need to use this one phone call, to text us and chat there. That's that is dedication right there. We're gonna have to, yeah, that's cookie dispense to his location for sure. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I'm glad you're doing well. Hope the inmates aren't beating you up too bad. Here we go. Race about to get underway. Derek Fulk, Tyler Coates, your front row. Green flag flies. Derek Fulk actually went a little earlier than what we've seen so far tonight. And Derek Fulk takes the race lead. Single file, a little bit of side by side through the rest of the pack, but single file through the top 4. Derek Fulk out in front. Tyler Coates trying to get a little bit closer, get a little bit to that back bumper, and give it a nice little smell, and doesn't get quite close enough to the exhaust pipes of these big block modifieds. And Andy, this night just goes from bad to worse. Just throws it in, makes contact, spins it around, and then looks like Joshua Sushi was also collected. So
yeah,
Derek,
Chad Gross, Joshua Sushi, Andy Cossack all caught up in that one. Looked again kind of similar to the other there. Big run up the inside, bit of a slowdown on the top side or high side there, and just some contact, and then leading to some. Whoa! As the 75 almost took the 78 out there of Derek Fulk. That was very close to the rear end. That's not exactly how that's supposed to look. I'm sure of it.
No, it wasn't. No, it was not. As Coates goes down the inside, has his car out in front, gets the run, makes contact, and is able to stay out in front. He ran up the racetrack, was not clear as Derek Fulk was on the loud pedal, trying to just stick side by side, and Tyler Coates take the lead here in the B feature. Let's take a look at that one more time. Again, Derek Fulk trying to ride around the outside. Yeah, definitely not clear. Luckily kept it straight. I mean, that was so close.
Yeah, he's testing the limits there for sure. He's definitely moving his weight around there. You can tell he was, I'm coming through there whether you like it or not. And the corner or so before that as well, he took another pretty big run, a much more stable run up the inside that time, and made it work. But yeah, the big box end of this thing hanging out the rear is not easy to keep under tabs, I would imagine, and just how much of it's sticking out behind you.
Tyler Coates out in front by just 7/10 further back. Jason Greider, Matt, and Chad Gross. Chad Gross holding on to that 4th spot. He'll be looking at starting in the what is that, would be the 9th spot, no, the 10th spot. So Tyler Coates though takes the white flag. He will start in P5 in the 30-lap feature later tonight. Derek Fulkin will finish in 2nd, Chad Gross 3rd, Jason Greider in 4th, Matt Glass will finish in 5th. Let's take a look at the contact from Andy Cossack here. Throws it on the inside and just, it's just, this poor guy, he is just like, he finds a rhythm and then it just doesn't go well as we hit our warm up here before our 30-lap feature. This is a 3-minute warm up, so let's go ahead and talk about the point.
Yeah, now'll be the time for the points there. Let's have a quick look. You would know a little bit more about this than me and how exactly they got to where they are, but Adam Thomsen leading.
Yeah, Adam Thomsen out in front by 2 points as Jake Hams is now dropped down to 2nd. Part of it is Adam Thomsen, his 3 Drop weeks were basically 0. So, um, 0 points as he missed the first 3 weeks of the season. But those two still in championship form. Dylan Bose, who's not here tonight, sitting in third, only about just like 30 points back from our championship contenders. Andy Kosick sitting in fourth, Derek Polk in fifth, Tyler Brown in that 6th spot in the standings, Chad Gross in 7th, Kevin Irwin in 8th, Matt Lass in 9th, Brad Cathcart in the 10th spot, Jason Greider in 11th, Harrison Chandler 12th, Joshua Sushi 13th, Colin Finland, who we haven't seen in a couple weeks, in 14th, Corey Patton 15th, Charles Beauchelle, aka Slow Trickle in 16th, Tyler Coates in 17th. He's had some rough goes of it here. And Joshua Wilkie, is that you in the 18th spot? Is that what I'm seeing there? Yep.
Almost dead last, not quite. Not quite dead last.
Jimmy Howard is in the 19th.
I think I maybe did one race so far.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, you've done the one ARCA race. So
hopefully we'll get some more of those in by the end of the season here. But yeah, unfortunately had to miss the whole dirt oval section of this one, and a big chunk of the ARCA series too that I was really enjoying. I was really looking forward to getting out there and doing some more laps. But yeah, hopefully we can get some more of the other stuff in there nearing the end of the season here. But yeah, not too much longer left in warm-up here. Pretty good showing so far, I would say. I'm really looking forward to getting them all on track here at once and seeing how that goes. These things look like a lot of fun. They look like they have a just unbelievable amount of torque, and the body roll is something to behold.
Well, they're modified, but they're not your typical modified. They're a little bit more open wheel. They're also, single seaters. A typical modified car, you look at an IMCA modified, a Midwest mod, or a B mod, an X mod, really any other modified out there. It is more of a stock body or stock car body. It has the driver in the actual driver's seat of the car, and then an open passenger pretty much. These cars are centered seated, which can kind of, which throws off some people in what it compares to. It's more like a sprint car, right? You have the sprint cars, but just a bigger body, and they're very, very heavy on the front end, which makes the front end really drag a lot more. So it takes a while to slow up the car as well. So when you're going through a corner, you're getting off the gas a little bit, or a little bit. Get that car rotated around, not like a sprint car, which you can take a little bit quicker. Starting lineup for our 30 lap feature looks like this. Tyler Brown is on the pole position tonight with Jake Ham on his outside. Kevin Irwin and Adam Thomsen, row 2. Row 3, Tyler Coates, Derek Fulkin. In row 4, Chad Gross and Jason Greider. Row 5, Matt Laus, Joshua Sushi, and Andy Kosick, whose night has just not been going well. We'll start in 11th. That is your lineup here. These big buck modifieds, of course, more of a race car you see in the Northeast and in Canada. You don't really see too much throughout the rest of the country, just because it's just not a car that people race. They would prefer to drive an actual modified or an actual late model. So that's kind of one of just those deals with these race cars, how they act. So get a good look at the racetrack and the pace truck going through. Get ready to go racing here. 2 laps around here again. And these cars, they you have to drive them like a modified. People like me who have raced in these cars before, I'm not the biggest fans of these cars. I'm not very comfortable racing the big block modifieds. I'm not going to be lying. I'm not lying there. I do have friends in the dirt world who love racing in these. They're very fun, very unique. I'm more of a late model guy myself. Like the late models on iRacing, I'll drive a sprint car every so often when they're like at Eldora or Knoxville. But we are green here. Good launch by Tyler Brown as he goes out in front with Jake Ham in second on that outside line. He'll slot in. Adam Thomsen, a little bit of trouble getting by Kevin Irwin as he goes to the high side. Everybody goes down low. Adam Thomsen thinking that maybe faster line is going to be to the outside, but can't go anywhere. Here comes the 75 of Tyler Coates side by side as Adam Thomsen, Tyler Coates battling for fourth as they go down into turns 3 and 4. Thomsen really working the wheel here. You can see he's trying to keep that car from not going down on top of the 75, and finally a little bit of clear
big snap
side by side. Oh, he snapped it, bogged down a little bit, and the 75 of Tyler Coates gets by the 244 of Adam Thomsen, and out in front by just over a half second, Tyler Brown over Jake Ham. But Jake Ham, he just needs a consistent night tonight. He's really not. He's had one podium in the last 3 races. So he's really needing to find a way through. Jake Ham getting a little bit closer on that low side, but Tyler Brown, good exit out of turn 2. Here they come to complete another lap in the start lap number 6 of the 30 scheduled here. Seems everything is going so far so well. Let's head back. Kevin Irwin, and we have a caution. Caution out on the Speedway, and Matt Lass. Oh boy, no. Matt, what did you do? Did you hit a tire?
We lose another.
I bet he hit a tire. He
He's
hit a
high
tire
enough. Oh, he did. No. Yep. Nope. Oh, that was darn close.
No.
Yep.
Oh no, he did.
He center punched it.
And he's stuck.
I hate to laugh, but that was that couldn't have been more straight on, and just sort of the comical nature of missing the other two just before fully center punching that other one there. Man, those things don't move. Wow, a whole car just stopped dead on that thing.
Yeah, iRacing tire barriers don't move. That's all you need to know. Let's take a look at what happened one more time. I mean, he goes down low, gets back on the throttle, loses control of the rear. Boom. And he gets stuck. That's the worst part. iRacing tire barriers, you can get stuck in.
Yeah, the physics just kind of grabs you, and you're in there. That's it. It's like a magnet holding on to you or something. When you hit something that hard, you just kind of become part of it, it seems, and that's about it. You're not backing out of her.
That's the worst part, and trust me, go try this on the Daytona road course or the Charlotte Roval. Anywhere where there's a tire barrier that you can run into. Go to Daytona, run into the tire barrier that goes into the oval section, or go run into the one in the bus stop. You will get stuck. You don't bounce off of it, you get stuck.
Yeah, you just kind of go right into it, and that's about it. We got another start going, another good jump from Tyler Brown there, leading the field into our restart first lap here.
Yes, it gets a great restart in front of Jake Ham. Kevin Irwin was feeling a little racy, but now he's got a battle with Mr. Thomsen in the 244, who's currently sitting in fourth. Kevin Irwin guarding the bottom line, goes up high, leaves the bottom open. Kevin Irwin, though, drives it around the outside, trying to keep Adam Thomsen behind him. But Adam Thomsen thinks about a slow job, a little bit of contact, a little bit of argy-bargy action. As they go down the front straightaway, finally Adam Thomsen clears him. But I think, again, a little bit of contact there with Kevin Irwin. I think Kevin Irwin just bumped the rear bumper of the 244 and has to back off. Now falls into the clutches of the 78. Back out in front, Jake Ham making slow progress on Tyler Brown. Tyler Brown got a little bit of a gap, but then ends up not getting the gap that he needs to not feel the pressure of Jake Ham. Jake Ham's been very solid tonight, one of the more solid nights. Jake Ham thought about really putting it in there, ends up sliding out the rears and couldn't keep the momentum. But he's still getting there now, almost side by side, has that front set of tires on the rear set of tires of Tyler Brown. Now Jake Ham goes to the outside, diamonds off the corner, and makes slight contact. That was a little bit of a touch, and then that allows the 244 to come by. Now he goes to the outside. Seems like the outside line's got a little bit more grip in it now. And Thomsen now moves into second. Jake Ham falls down to third, and Adam Thomsen looking to go 4 for 4 on the dirt section as we've had a spinner.
I noticed earlier there, Adam Thomsen seemed like he's having a really hard time getting the car set, getting that front end set, and being able to stay on the power and not have to do 20 corrections and throttle control taps and wiggles there through the corner, as he's going to go a little bit wide here into the dirt, as we've had a yellow actually is why that would be happening. But caution out there, 29, not doing the greatest job of clearing the track there in front of Tyler Brown. But yeah, just to get back to the point there, you can really see, and I think you mentioned it there, that the track has changed a little bit, and I would imagine, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong here, and that's why Adam Thomsen's having a little bit more of an easy time seemingly just getting that car set into the corner, getting on the gas, making as little corrections as possible, and taking the most speed through it. Seems to have happened about 4 or 5 laps ago, and he's starting to move forward now.
Yeah, it seems like he's finding that top side to be a little bit more quicker now. You know, the track does slick off even with 11 cars. It can still slick off on the bottom, and that's what's happening here, that it's starting to slick off just a little bit. And the reason for the caution, Matt, it was Joshua Sushi, who's now in the pit. But let's see what caused his spin. And yeah, just got the car too angled, went over the tire. Oh, actually, guess who was involved? Andy Cossack.
A quick peek at that here, hopefully, before we go back live. And it looked like, yeah, unfortunately, he just stays in the throttle. I think he kind of just gave up on her there. He's a little frustrated, and yeah, unfortunately collected another driver there too.
Andy Cossack's night just has not gone his way.
Yeah, if you're gonna collect somebody, it's Andy Cossack tonight. That's the way that's gonna work.
He's got a target. He's got bad karma tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him after the race tonight. Who did he make mad?
Yeah, it's unfortunately having some bad dirt oval mojo tonight.
Well, here we go. A restart about to get underway, and away we go or almost to the halfway point here tonight. And that was our second caution of the night. Jake Camp, good restarts, able to actually stay with Adam Thomsen side by side for the second spot. Has just a half a car now, just side by side as they go into 3 and 4. Jake Camp can't clear him though, as Tyler Brown doing everything he can. Now Adam Thomsen going for the race lead. Jake Campbell moved to the top side.
Yeah,
he knows he's got the pace on Tyler Brown.
Ooh,
yeah, they're getting close.
Not so good on that one.
Stop the momentum. That will stop the momentum. Jake and Kevin Irwin thought about maybe making a move, couldn't get it to stick. Jake Ham diamonds off the corner, and he loses time side by side for the 4 spot. Chad Gross just a nose out in front of Kevin Irwin. Kevin Irwin though coming back, contact between the two, and they get it back squared away. And Kevin Irwin retains that 4 spot. Adam Thomsen to the high side is out in front of Tyler Brown here, and looking to go 4 for 4 in race wins, as the 75 of Tyler Coates will take the 5th spot away from Chad Gross. Slid up in front, good slider. And now Chad Gross has now fallen down to 7th as Derek Folk is looking to get by. Back out in front, Jake Ham hounding the 821 on that high side. No longer diamonding off the corner, but has the run. No, he doesn't. He loses all the momentum off the exit. But gets that clean air on the
working
nose.
Out there. This is pretty interesting, actually, for someone who doesn't watch it often, to see you cannot, and correct me if I'm wrong again here, but it looks to me like you just can't stay on exactly the same line as your competitor, because it's going to be just as fast. Or maybe even slower, right? Because right, and they've chewed it up a bit, so it's really interesting to watch all 3 different lines working in different ways here and sort of intersecting with each other, and just trying to find that run that's going to work at the end of the day. Pretty interesting. So low for Jake Ham, so high up in the fluff there for Adam Thomsen.
Well, right now I would say the best place to be on the racetrack is that high side. You can get the momentum on the exit. If you compare it to the inside line, but that time the 821 of Tyler Brown up into the dirty stuff, and that allows Jake Cam to get alongside, but can't get the slide job done. And you can see Tyler Coates, he is ripping the high side as he maintains fifth. Chad Gross trying to stick with Derek Folk now. Derek Folk on that low side, but that outside line working for Chad Gross here. The higher side is really good right now, but I can imagine it's going to start to feel a little slickish as we approach here. Now we're about 5 laps to go. Officially now 5 laps to go in this one. With only 2 cautions, will another caution come out? That might reset a lot of people's driving mindset. But Adam Thomsen is starting to pull off in the distance. Just over a half a second out in front of Tyler Brown. Jake Ham back down to his original line.
What it looks like here, Adam Thomsen really been using just the very edge of that fluff on the side for multiple laps in a row. You can see his competitors starting to kind of take heed of that as well and doing exactly the same thing behind him now. Jake Ham's still choosing that lower line a little bit sometimes, but it seems to be working for him. He's found a consistent place to be there and set that throttle and the steering inputs, and has been able to stay out front. Nobody able to answer. Interesting to watch somebody struggle so much getting that car set, and then all of a sudden just get it and be leading the pack like that. Pretty cool.
Well, Adam Thomsen comes around turn 4, white flag displayed one more time around here tonight at the dirt track at Charlotte. And Adam Thomsen from 4th to the lead will come home through turn 4, and he will take his 4th win in a row here at XSLR. Tyler Brown will come home to 2nd. Jake Ham gets on the podium for the 2nd time in 4 weeks. Kevin Irwin will finish in 4th. Another consistent run from the cheese car. Tyler Coates in 5th. Chad Gross in 6th. Derek Folk in 7th. Andy Kosick, after a rough night, is at least in 8th place. Jason Grider in 9th. Joshua Sushi 10th. Matt Lass, after making contact with the tire barrier, in 11th. And here we go. Demolition Derby time.
Yeah, we've got a pretty close finish back in about 7th or 8th there as well, I believe, between Derek Folk and his competitor there as well. I forget exactly who that was now, but real close finish there as well. Some good racing all around as we're going to get some show laps here by the looks of it. Oh, big hit on the cheese car. Oh, there goes some tires. Some good tire physics there. Look at that, rolling downhill. Huh.
Well, that will be the feature. We'll get our top 3 into our interview waiting area. And we'll wait and we'll give them an interview.
Yeah, looks like we got a couple of them in there now. Adam Thomsen joining us in the interview room. Maybe you want to take this one, Adam? Adam and Adam?
Yep, I'll bring him in here. Talk or just be nice to me here. There we go. Our race winner, Adam Thomsen, joining us in the broadcast booth from 4th to 1st. Get the win. And seemed like that high side, you were testing it out in the first opening laps. Wasn't quite working, but then after the first caution, it seemed like it was doing really good work for you.
Yeah, I knew I had to do something. I didn't have the pace tonight. I really didn't. Yeah, I'm shaking a little bit. That was the most fun I've had in the dirt oval so far. It was I kept trying the high line because I knew something had to happen, and it started working. Jake and Tyler up there were battling a little bit, and it helped me get there. And then I just tried to get that right rear tire up in that good dirt, and just tried to start chasing the berm up the racetrack, or the cushion up the racetrack. Tyler started getting to me there at the end, though. I was not as confident as he was running the super duper high line. So I just wanted to try to keep it clean. If he got to me, tried to kind of position the car in the middle of the track. So if he wanted to run a slider, it would have had to be a pretty aggressive one, but he never got there, and it worked out.
Well, it just seemed like, in the first few laps, kind of a little bit of a struggle, but as the bottom wore off and you stuck to your gun, staying to the higher side of the racetrack, it just seemed to work out really well for you.
Yeah, it really did, man. It was good racing, and you know, if you wanna mention an incident, we're gonna have to go ahead and mention it. I think there may be a warning coming my way. Got into the back of Tyler Coates there at the beginning of the race, and was 100% my fault. So we're gonna look at it and see what the stewards decide, but. You know, it's, I mean, it's, as you know, Adam, it's the type of racing like this. I never want to ruin somebody else's race. Tyler Coates was just as fast as us, just as fast as me, maybe faster. I was having a blast battling him, and it's a shame he went out like that and wasn't able to get back up to us. But yeah, absolutely. Awesome battle up there with the top four. Myself, Tyler Coates, and Jake Ham and Tyler Brown.
Well, congratulations. Of course, our final question, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, actually, I forgot a guy, Kevin Irwin. This man is, sorry, Kevin, if you ever watch these broadcasts back, this man might be the slowest person I've ever seen on iRacing until it comes to dirt. And normally he's only good in the dirt road, so we're going to have to see how this translates. The Pro 4 trucks he's extremely quick at. So we're going to have to see coming up next week if he's as good as he is in the rallycross cars as he is in the Pro 4 trucks. But he's surprised me when he's been here for the dirt ovals. He missed last weekend, but yeah, he was extremely quick there at the beginning of the race. Obviously, he got straight up into the feature, finished P2, I think, in Heat 1. So yeah, dude, Kevin Irwin, shout out to you, brother. And also shout out to Kevin. He's a sponsor of the league. He sponsors every year, and also an admin. So thank you. And shout out to the admins of the league. We've been kind of going through a bit of an issue with how we're dealing with incidents here in the dirt oval, because nobody quite knows what they're doing except you, Adam, when it comes to dirt oval. But shout out to yourself and, well, Adam Thomsen, the Dry Thomsen, and Dry Thomsen too, because you have joined twice. And you always tend to do that. And then also Joshua Wilkie, man, for doing everything you do with Slow Motion Broadcasting, keeping the ship going the correct direction. I say it every time I see you in the booth, man. I'm super happy that you were the one that I chose to take this company forward. It really is doing nothing but going forward. Just go take a look at the YouTube, Slow Motion Broadcasting YouTube, if you guys ever want to look. I never made shorts. I didn't know what shorts were. I'm too old for that shit. Sorry, Josh. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool, man, to see how to see what Slow Motion Broadcasting is doing. So massive shout out to you guys as well.
Well, thanks, Adam, for joining us here, and we'll see you next week in the rallycross car at Tona.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, brother, it's gonna be a fun one, baby. Let's do it.
I hope I can make that one.
Thanks, Adam. Next up, we'll bring in Tyler Brown, our second place finisher. Tyler?
Yes, sir.
You had the pole and you couldn't get it done tonight. Adam Thomsen got you there at the end, but just talk about that race. It seemed like it was just competitive through and through.
Yeah, it was pretty competitive. I was trying to hold Jake off for a long time, and then I was busy focused on Jake that I didn't see the high line forming out. And Adam came around the outside of us, and by the time I realized it was far too late, so I ended up losing that first. I tried to throw a couple of slide jobs on him, and I had one more in the bank, but I was too worried about losing second, so I just decided to play it safe and stay in that second position.
Well, just like Denny Hamlin today, you come up one spot short at an XSLR win, but next week we head to the rallycross car. How much of this, the success on the dirt tonight is going to translate into the upcoming 4 weeks in a rallycross car?
Oh man, I don't know. I've been putting in tons of practice in the rallycross this last couple of weeks, and I don't know how much of it really translates over, so we'll see. If I can come out in top 5, I think I'll be all right, but my expectations at this point are pretty low.
Well, hopefully those expectations get risen up as we go into the next series here at XSLR season number 10. Anybody you want to thank for your P2 finish tonight?
No, sir.
No, sir. You don't even want to thank us. All right.
Well, I'll thank the broadcasters at SMB and XSLR for putting it on. My bad.
There you go. So somebody needs some media training. It's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, congratulations, Tyler, on a P2 finish, and we'll see you next week at Daytona.
10-4. Thank you, guys.
Tyler Brown, our second place finisher. Now we'll talk to our third place finisher tonight, Jake Ham. Jake, you finally get back on the podium after a disastrous race last week. Talk about that race. It was fairly competitive, but just couldn't quite get to the front.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Tyler and I were just kind of recounting it, going back through it, and I wish I was too involved trying to get past Tyler there on the final stretch there, where just wasn't paying attention to Adam. And I feel like if Tyler and I would have moved up a couple, or up to the high side a couple laps sooner, I think it would have been a different outcome. But at the end of the day, it was just nice to have some good, clean racing there at the front. Didn't have to deal with Coatsy since he's so slow. So it was good to be up there and be on the podium here tonight.
You've taken a hit in the championship last week. You were in contention for a podium and got taken out. The big block modifieds really hasn't been your forte, I would say, this year.
Yeah, no, and I'm looking forward to being done with them, because then Coates won't probably drive anymore either. So it'll just be a great, much better experience. And just to throw it out there, Adam is back, so that's why a lot of this stuff is happening. But on to the next series, and I think we'll gain some points here to the finish line.
Yeah, looking at the upcoming series, we got Rallycross. Are we going to see the reemergence of J-Cam?
That's the hope. I think I am worse at those than this, but I think from series past, Rallycross has been surprisingly well for me. And so I think get some extra time in the seat. I'll probably actually put some practice in there. And I think the goal would be at least to keep it on the podiums. So that way my drop weeks and stuff, help me out significantly more and be able to get some final points here at the end.
Well, congratulations on a third place finish. We'll see you next week. And of course, anybody you want to thank before we let you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Slow Motion Broadcasting, Adam for hosting the series. And if he didn't share the news, his daughter is rolling over. We heard that here before the race. So, hey, congrats to her. That's amazing. And then, let's see, friends and family for stopping by. And then Tyler Coates for being slow. See you next week.
See you next week, Jake. Thank you. Well, Jake Ham, our third place finisher. Well, talk to all three. Josh, any final thoughts here?
Yeah, final thoughts were I wish I was out there racing these things. They honestly looked like a blast. It would have been a pretty cool experience to give this a shot. And I'm really looking forward to the Rallycross portion of XSLR this season. I'm hoping that I'm able to get out there and race some jumpy cars as well. Used to be pretty good in those things, although it's been a while now. So hopefully here I can recover, in the next week or so enough that I can get back in the rig and rip around. But other than that, great race tonight, and it's good to be back for a show here. And you'll have your usual Ron Maunz back next week.
Well, hopefully if he gets out on bail.
Right, I forgot.
Might be me. Well, what do we got? Might be you. Just depends. What do we got coming up here on Slow Motion Broadcasting? Well, Tuesday night, we get right back to it with the Sim Racing Group F4 League around Interlagos. And then one of the newer series that's joined us here at XSLR, the XMS Racing Ferrari Road and Oval Challenges on Le Mans. So that'll be fun. Wednesday night, right after the XMS Racing Ferrari Road and Oval Challenge, the Sim Racers Group F3 race at Monza this week. And then Saturday, back to Weekend Warriors in the Formula V at VIR. And then in the Formula Ford on Sunday, you can check out Long Beach in the Formula Ford. And then, of course, the Spec Racer Ford is around VIR. Well, and then Sunday night, cap off your weekend with us here on XSLR as we head to the Daytona Rally Road Course, the long version in Rallycross, and that will end the weekend, and then right back to it that following Tuesday with Sim Racing Group F4 at Motorland. I can't even pronounce the track name.
Aragon.
I don't even own it. So Aragon, thank you. Well, thank you, Josh, as always, for hopping in here. Hopefully Ron gets his trouble figured out and we see him back here next week.
Cash bail
My
to him
name
as soon
is
as I
Adam.
can here.
Yeah, don't send him cash bail. He can stay there for a while. My name is Adam Thomsen for Joshua Wilkie and all the production and commentators here at Slow Motion Broadcasting. Thank you so much for joining us here this week on XSLR, and we'll see you next week from Daytona Rallycross. Good night, everybody.